Lady Akiko Mori was a vision, a geisha of the highest rank, trained in the secret arts of music, dance, and seduction. She was known across Kyoto for a voice like snow melting in spring, and a face so flawless, even artists couldn't capture it. She married into power, a shogunate official who gifted her a hilltop estate, gardens blooming with sakura, and servants who bowed before her shadow. But even in paradise, something festered. They say Akiko began each day the same way. Lighting incense, washing in rose oil, and staring into her mirror for exactly 1 hour, in complete silence. As the years passed, she changed. She smiled less. She demanded more. And she began muttering a single phrase into the mirror. "Time is eating me alive." By 1859, whispers spread. Akiko was opening a private clinic on her estate. She claimed it combined European science and ancient Japanese wisdom. A place where wealthy women could buy back their youth. She hired chemists from Holland, bought medical instruments from Germany, and lured village girls with promises of work. But inside? It was no clinic. It was a house of mirrors. Each wall, each hallway, each room reflected her, hundreds of her. All watching. All aging. And beneath the floors, rooms that were never on any blueprint. Akiko's beauty treatments began with herbs. Then rare oils. Then leeches. And then faces. Her logic was insane, but precise. She believed the skin of a young girl, if carefully removed and preserved with salt, oils, and ancient sealing techniques, could be worn like a mask, fusing temporarily with the skin of the wearer. Each month, a new servant girl would vanish. Some were drugged in their sleep. Others lured into her private chambers. And in those rooms, she harvested them. With surgical blades. With steady hands. While singing lullabies. Her diary, later recovered, read, "The face is the soul's curtain. And I am simply redecorating." Akiko was never tried. Her husband erased the evidence. The clinic burned down accidentally. Witnesses vanished. But the people demanded justice. So they gave it to them, quietly. Akiko was locked inside a mountain temple. A single room. No mirrors. No glass. No sound. She spent her final years clawing at her face. Begging for a mirror. Whispering to the shadows, "Bring me a new face." When monks opened the door 7 years later, she was dead. But on the wall was a smile, drawn in blood. Everything changed in winter. A local midwife named Hana had been searching for her missing sister, a 16-year-old village girl named Suki, last seen entering Akiko's mansion. Hana disguised herself as a servant, got hired, and began her search from inside. What she found? Freezers filled with faces. Baths of human fat. A notebook titled Harvest Rotations. And one mirror, where she saw a stitched face composed of 5 girls. Smiling. One was Suki. Hana barely escaped. She ran barefoot through snow, holding a jar of preserved skin and Akiko's diary. When the truth broke, newspapers called it the Kyoto face scandal. The surviving servants told stories, decades later, of mirrors that didn't reflect truth, of hearing girls screaming long after they'd been sent away, of oil baths that smelled like iron and rot. One girl described a freezer room lined with white masks, hung like scrolls, each labeled with a name, a date, a short note, too thin, ice too small, perfect symmetry. Another servant recalled cleaning a bathroom and seeing her own reflection blink, even though she hadn't. But no one spoke. Why? Because the Mori family was untouchable. Akiko's husband had ties to the shogunate police. Priests were paid to bless her house. Doctors were bribed to sign false death papers. For years, she lived, fed, and aged backwards, in silence. They say her spirit lingers, trapped inside old mirrors sold at Kyoto's night markets. If you ever see one, and your reflection smiles before you do, run. That's the mirror queen. And she's still looking for someone else's beauty.